Alright, so first things first, what is an assignment operator? In Python, assignment operators are used to assign values to variables. And believe it or not, there are several types of assignment operators that give us more control over how values are assigned. So let's break them down. So first we have the equal sign. The most common one you have seen is the simple equal sign. It is the basic assignment operator. You use it to assign a value to a variable. For example, let's say we have a variable called x, then we have this assignment operator which is equal, then we can write 5. Now Python assigned this 5 value to this x variable. Pretty straightforward, right? But here's where things get interesting, because next we have the add and assign operator. So the add and assign operator, and we express that by writing plus and equal together, and this operator adds the right hand side value to the left hand side variable and then assigns the result back to the left hand side variable. For example, let's say we have a variable called y, and that is equal 5, and if I write here y plus equal 3, what it will do is it will add 3 with the previous value which was 5, and it will make 8 inside y. So now if I write the print statement and pass y, you will see the output is 8. It is basically a shorthand for this statement, which is y equal y plus 3. If I comment this line and again run the code, you will see the same result. So here we are doing an arithmetic operation, and after we get the result, we reassign the result into the y. But we can do that with shorthand notation by writing this line. So I can comment this line and uncomment this line, and you will see both gives the same output. Next up we have the subtract and assign operator. So subtract and assign, and we express that by writing minus and equal together. This one also works just like the add and assign operator, but it subtracts instead of adding. For example, if I write a variable called z which holds the value 9, and if I write here z minus equal 2, then if I write the print statement and pass z and run the code, you will see the output 7. So it is basically the shorthand notation for z equal z minus 2. This line and this line are doing exactly the same task. After subtract and assign operator, we have the multiply and assign operator. So multiply and assign operator, and we express that by writing star equal together. So for example, we have a variable called x equal 3, and let's say if I write x multiply equal 4, and if I write the print statement and try to print x and run the code, you will see the output is 12. So here it is the shorthand notation for x equal x into 4. So behind the scene it is doing this arithmetic operation. After this we have the divide and assign operator, and we express that writing / equal together. For example, we have a variable called y which holds the value 12, and if I write here y / equal 4, which is a shorthand notation for y equal y / 4, then if I write the print statement, you will see the output 3.0. If I run the code, you can see it prints 3.0. But if you don't want digits after the point, then you can do floor division and assign. So next up we have floor division, and assign. We express that by writing two forward slash and equal together. So let's say we have another variable called z, which is equal 10, and if we do z slash slash equal 3, and then if I try to print z, instead of 3.33, it will just print 3. So if I run the code, you can see it just prints 3 without the digits after the point. Next up, we have the modulus assignment operator. So modulus and assign operator, and we express that by writing the percentage sign and the equal sign together. So for example, let's say we have another variable called x, which is equal 10, and if I write here x mod equal 4, and if I write the print statement and pass x, you will see the output 2. So here it is a shorthand for x equal x mod 4, and there in the floor division and assign, it was shorthand for z equal z floor division 3. After modulus and assign operator, we have the exponentiation and assign operator. So exponentiation and assign operator, and we express that by writing 2 star and equal together. This one raises the variable to the power of the value on the right hand side. Let's say we have a variable called y, which is equal to, and let's say if I do y then star star equal 3, and if I write the print statement and pass y and run the code, you can see the output is 8. So it is the shorthand notation for y equal y exponentiation 3. And finally, there are bitwise assignment operators. So bitwise assignment operators. In the previous video, we saw some bitwise operators and how they works. So there we learned about bitwise AND operator, bitwise OR operator, bitwise XOR operator, bitwise left shift operator, and bitwise right shift operator. So these are the bitwise operators which we learned in the previous video. Now here comes the topic, which is bitwise assignment operators. So if we add a equal sign with the bitwise operators, for example, if I add this equal sign with the bitwise AND operator, then it becomes bitwise AND assign operator. If I add the equal sign with the bitwise OR operator, then it becomes bitwise OR assign operator. If I add the equal sign with the bitwise XOR operator, then it becomes bitwise XOR assign operator. If I add equal sign with the bitwise left shift operator, then it becomes bitwise left shift assign operator. If I add the equal sign with the bitwise right shift operator, then it becomes bitwise right shift assign operator. So these are just shorthanded notation for the bitwise operators. They exactly do the same things which we learned in the previous videos. These are just shorthanded notations. So I'll suggest to watch the previous video. These are less common but still super useful when working with binary numbers or low-level operations. These operators are useful for manipulating bits. So let's see an example. Let's say we have a variable called a, which is equal 5, and then we have b equal 3. So in binary 5 means 0 1 0 1 and 3 means 0 0 1 1. So while learning bitwise operators, what we used to do was we declare another variable called result, then there we did our bitwise operation. For example, a bitwise AND b. Then we used to print the result. So if I run the code, you'll see 1. So here what is happening is it is comparing the values bit by bit. So if the last bit of both value is same and both are 1, then only it returns 1. If both of them are 0 or either one of them 0, then it returns 0. So ultimate binary result is 0001, which is 1 in decimal. But we can make this code shorter by using bitwise AND assign operator. So instead of writing another variable, what we can do is we can write A, then bitwise AND, then equal B. So what it will do is it will do bitwise AND operation between A and B, then it will put the result inside A. So now inside A we are having the result 1, which is 0001 in binary. So we don't have to write another extra variable. We can just use A. But keep in mind that when you do this, you'll lose the actual value which was inside A. In this case, we lose the value 5 because it did a bitwise AND operation between A and B, then it stored the result inside A, removing the previous value of A. So now A holds the value 1. So when you run the code, you can see the output is 1. So like this bitwise AND assign operator, these bitwise assignment operators do bitwise operation with shorthand codes what we learned in the previous video. So again, I will suggest to watch the previous video. So that's all for now. See you in the next one.